Of the night. So I just met Samantha for the first time tonight, but Lori had seen her speak at another event and said that she would be awesome for this type of event. So we brought her in, and you're local though, but yeah. So please welcome Samantha Esta.
You're going to find in this presentation I use a lot of math-based jokes. I think I'm hilarious. No one else seems to think I'm hilarious. So, yay! So basically, I was born with a mouse in my hand, so I've always been around computers. Here's a picture of me, 6 months old. There's my dad. There's me on my computer. My dad was a computer teacher, and so I basically have been around. I remember like every type of machine. And when Microsoft 95 came out, that was the biggest deal for me. I was like, oh my God, there's a mouse. I don't have to hit home anytime. Like this, it was a big deal. So I hard-coded my first website when I was 8. My dad thought it would be hilarious to buy me 20 domains, and I ran with it. They are not pretty, and so I'm not showing them. But this is basically a good example of what was. The funniest story that my dad has is I took Backstreet Boys' second album, and I spent time like, okay, I'm going to extract them from the CD, and then I'm going to figure out how to put them in here, but then I have to host the music online, so how do I do that? And he's like, you were in this study for like 3 days straight, just trying to figure this out at 8. But I got it, so woo! If you ever want to get some old school gifts, you just have to go to this bit.ly that I put down there. It's fantastic. I use it for all of my presentations. And there's always like some new kid in the audience who's like, I've never seen these before. I'm like, oh, never mind. So it didn't just stop there. Windows 95 came up with a bunch of like really horrible software that they put on their like starter CDs, and Dell did the same thing. So I basically started playing with a lot of these software, and I ruined 2 computers. I feel real bad about it because I was downloading a bunch of things illegally because I just needed to learn how to do animation. So that was a lesson that I had to learn too. And my dad basically decided, okay, you know what, we're gonna buy you a computer, but you're gonna build it yourself. So I have one of those old iMacs that are pink. We actually bought all of the components ourselves. My dad taught me bit by bit how to put it together, and I still have it. It's still running. It's got only like 50 gigs, so it's not like it's a great system, but it's still running. So then I'm like, if this is my background and this is me at the age 8, like, what the fuck happened, right? So in grade 4 was the first time that I started real school. My mom homeschooled me until my sister and I until I was in grade 4. Well, on the second day of grade 4, my teacher is explaining how to calculate the area of a T-shape, right? So, and he's teaching us wrong. And I'm like, okay, like, I don't want to be that kid. It's my second day. Like, I don't want to be like, woo. But after listening to him go on for about 10 minutes, I was like, listen, man, you're doing this wrong. And like, he proceeded to yell at me, and I cried, and it was horrible, and I like learned right there that I'm never going to correct anyone when it comes to math. Like, that's just going to let you do your thing. I'll do it correctly over here, and then like when I get my test results, he'll be like, oh, why did you calculate it this way? And be like, because that's the correct way, or the easier way, or whatever. Grade 5. Grade 5 did not get any better. So I grew up in Chatham, Ontario, which is the cornhole of Ontario. We have more cows than we have people. I was really interested in science fairs. I wasn't sure if I was going to be mathy or a science geek. Like, I didn't know where I was going to go. Everyone in grade 5 does paper mache volcanoes, right? Like, everyone is like, baking soda, I got this, it's going to be great. I spent my entire time looking at intervals and how that worked with guitar chords. So I was very fascinated about the mathematics behind that. And I was like, this is it. Everyone else is doing a volcano. I'm coming in with this. It's going to be great. No, I lost to a volcano, and I was very upset by it. So when I like look at the way that this changed my academic pathway, basically I was like, I love computers, I love math, I love science, it's great. Quite a few things in that realm lead to this No Girls Allowed. These are from LiveJournal. I don't know if anyone remembers that, so I have a bunch of those in other presentations I use. And then I basically stumbled into communications. So I actually started in mathematical physics at Waterloo. I said I was like, screw it, I'm going to do it. I was one of 4 girls in my program, so there's 123 of us in my first year. I was one of 4, and I was the only girl of color. So it was very obvious, like, when you look at the demographics of that, how it feels. And in labs, you kind of have to position yourself in first year to be like, I'm going to be the greatest person ever, like, love me. And it wasn't going to happen. And so I called my dad, and I was like, I went to Waterloo because that's where you went, and you were pure mathy, and I didn't choose math, and now I feel horrible because I could have just done that, it would be great. And he was like, you know what, Samantha, just take a bunch of classes, see what you love, and like, you don't have to stay in the same program. And so I took like a one-shot communications class because I was like, whatever, that, my sociology, and see what I'm doing. And this is a basic communications process. So this is the idea of a transmitter, right? So you put something and you like talk to it and you're hoping that it comes to the other person. And I realized that the majority of conflict and communication studies is actually math. It's all about these functions. It's like, if A does this, then what is B? If, then what, right? So when I started thinking of it in that way, I was like, oh, these are like things I can solve. This is great. And so I started going into communications and conflict. So when I look at my whole experience in STEM, this is basically it. If you go to this website, I'm not joking, you go to this website, you click this in, this is where I get all my gifts, by the way, right? This one's right here. And you put women in STEM, that is the gift that comes up. And I'm like, that sums up my whole experience. Now, I was very lucky then in the sense that at Waterloo, they try to have quite a few incubators that are not just, you have to be an engineering or mathy or a science kid, that sort of thing. So I stumbled on this thing called REAP, which is Research Entrepreneurs Accelerating Prosperity. And the whole idea is that they didn't want to just be STEM, they wanted to be STEAM, and it was great. And like, all of us had a working knowledge of either CSS, HTML, someone had Augmented Z, a few other things like that. And we started doing these things with Float 4 technologies and microtiles, and I thought it was like so cool. I was like, okay, I can understand how I'm going to use this and how this can be used in these sort of sectors. And we do these presentations with government partners, SSHRC, and NSERC, a few things like that to prove that they should keep on funding our like little research stream, which is awesome. And all my questions were about project management or documentation, and I was like, no, I didn't document this. I like built this. So like, please treat me like someone on the team, and unlike my other male coworkers. So even as I progressed through from an arts level and outside of STEM, I was still being like, I'm doing these complex things that have to do with coding. I may not have coding, like I may not be in mathematics or engineering, that sort of thing, but I'm doing the work. Treat me like I'm doing the work. And that's when you kind of get to these statistics. So when we're looking at people who worked in STEM between 1991, the year of my birth, I know, I'm quite young, and 2011, 72.7% are men and 27.3% are women. And we already know from the way that we've done all these studies that women are better machine learning developers. So why do we have this disconnect between the number of women who are in these fields and the ways that we actually work when it comes to technology? 70% of companies do not have a single woman on the board of their directors. 54% of companies do not have a single woman in an executive position, and these are all tech companies. 5% of white men say they considered a lack of diversity a problem. They don't consider it a problem. So I mean, like when I'm talking about being one of 4 girls in 120 odd people, I'm the only girl of color, that's something that's going to reflect in the way that we look at the industry afterwards. So, how did this person who's been around computers my whole life end up with 2 degrees in conflict and communications? And how come I'm working at a tech firm now? Oh, how did that happen? And the actual answer is women and diversity in tech. So I currently work for an organization called Mad Hatter Technology. It is female-led. It is majority female, including our developers. And the majority of us are also people of color. It's a true unicorn. I have not seen this in tech town outside. I've been around the block a couple times. So when I look at the ways that we present things, so if I do a lot of work in explaining technology to our clients who don't understand it, because I'm like, I understand this, I can talk to you about it, it's gonna be great. And when they come to presentations and they see that I'm doing this presentation or I'm doing training or I'm, going through the RFP process or whatever, they're always very surprised when we do our engagement team. They're like, you only have like one dude in here and he's your project manager. And we're like, it's a beautiful website, isn't it though? This application is just great, right? And we find that once people start having these ideas that these people exist or these groups exist, it changes the way that we think of technology. And one of the things that we do at Mad Hatter is we do something called Curiosity, so after Marie Curie, and it focuses on this idea of getting in with high schools and elementary schools in Kitchener-Waterloo and being like, you can do it. And a lot of time when I'm in those presentations, I'm like, you can do it, because if I had more people like you when I was like in university or in high school, I would have stayed. I would have stayed, and I would have been the developer here, not the person who's presenting, trying to get you to become a developer. So one of the things that I also do is I try to do a lot of community engagement strategies. And I was invited to do a blog for Code Like a Girl, which is a fantastic organization. You should definitely check it out. And so I did something called Dear 10-Year-Old Me, Code Like a Girl. And it's this letter to be like, keep on using those GIFs, it's great, like, you're great. I have that listed in my presentation. But essentially, as I've been doing this more and more, and I've seen some of these younger girls go through these programs, and they're very much like, can I have your business card? Can I talk to you as I get through this? And I spend my time answering emails being like, yeah, that midterm sucks. I understand, like, that really sucks. Do you want to go for coffee? How can I help you through this? And I'm finding that we're getting graduation rates. I'm seeing people that I saw when they were, these like, I want to be at Waterloo for the first time, and watching them all bright-eyed, watching them graduate. And it's a fantastic experience. And I think that's one of the things that, as I see more of them happening, we're going to change those numbers that were originally at the beginning. And because I couldn't leave out one last gift, that's my Twitter, and that's my website, and yeah, that's it.
Cool.
Everything that you talked about was like shared paths.
Oh yeah, but I feel so bad because the first years in university right now, like the ones who are going in September, were born during the Blue album, and I'm like, that's horrible. You didn't get any of the good ones. Horrible. That sucks.
All right.
It was a neat environment because it created programming.